Hello and welcome. I'm Darren. And today I'm going to give my small and inexperienced run through of Escape from Tarkov. Now I'm going to I'm going to make this incredibly clear. I am absolutely nowhere near an expert or a pro. I don't even know my way around at least some of the more, let's say, later game maps. So I have limited experience on this. I have spent a lot of time in it, but I'm a casual gamer. So my hours in it are not obviously as much as what a lot of people's are. And I tend to kind of play early wipe for a bit. So basically there's a member in my viewership which has asked for a bit of a run through of the game, which I completely understand because it is an expensive game. And if you don't know what type of experience you're going to get from it, it's not a game that you probably want to spend that sort of money on. So I'm going to kind of try and quick run through. I might end up having to do this in 2 videos because there's so much to go through, which is a bit of a nightmare. So we'll see. We'll see how long this takes. And obviously I'm not scripted or anything, so you're going to have to forgive me for that. So... From the off, you're in your main menu. At this moment in time, we are in the PvP, which basically means you are player versus other players. If we quick go to where you would launch as your player, you have the choice of launching as your player, or you have the choice of launching as what is called a scav. So scavs are AI enemies that are basically running around the zone as well as PMC controlled players. So there will also be player controlled scavs. If you're running as a scav, you do not want to kill other scavs because effectively this is almost like your second player. If you die as a scav, you get another scav. So you're always getting a different scav. You never reload with the same one. You will get a different loadout every time. When you're playing as a scav, you get to come back and keep anything that you picked up during the game as long as you extract. And then you get to shift all of that stuff across into your stash. So basically, if you're playing as PMC, this is obviously, we'll go back, I'll quick show you, it's an extraction game. So you lose. If I take this stuff into a game now and I die, I lose all of this stuff apart from the stuff that's in my safe box. This is your safe box. So you can see it's locked here. This is your secure container. If you go into the game and you manage to pick up any kind of small or whatever will fit in this, which is a valuable item, you want to put it in here. If you're watching videos or you're watching other content, when someone says put that in your ass, they mean put it in your secure box. So anything, if you lose all of this stuff because you die, you will return it with this. You can insure your gear. So if you've got high level gear and you go into a game and either it's late in the wipe and a player kills you and he doesn't really care for the gear that you've got on you because he has availability of far better gear, he might just leave it. If you get killed by a scav in game and no one finds your body in the time that map is active, no one picks up your gear, it will get returned to you. It doesn't get instantly returned to you. I think it normally takes around about 24 hours. And then there's a timer for you to collect it. If you're late on collecting it, you don't get it back. So those are your options. You go to launch the game and you get to run as your character or you get to run as a random scav. Same rules apply. You need to extract from the map to keep your gear. You need to extract from the map, obviously, to survive. If the timer runs out while you're inside the map, you lose all your gear. You are lost in the wilderness, AWOL. Now, you can't basically run a scav and then just run a scav and then just run a scav. There is a cooldown on your scavs. Like I said, if you go into a game as a scav and you kill other scavs, if you even shoot another scav, all of the scavs on the map will turn on you and they will hunt you and they will kill you. So that becomes a little bit awkward. When you are running as a scav, picture the scenario that you're running as a scav, you kill a PMC or you find a downed PMC, you pick up all his gear, he's running a decent helmet, a fully loaded gun with a suppressor and sights in it, a decent rig and everything else. Suddenly you start to look a bit more like a PMC. That means that other player scavs that are in the map with you might see you as a PMC. If they shoot at you and you turn and kill them, you're in trouble. If they shoot at you and hit you first, that's fine. That's fair game, because they will then be hunted by the other scavs also. So hopefully that makes sense. There's a lot for me to explain in a very short space of time. I might not be explaining it the best. When you go into the map as a PMC, you're free game for everyone. Scavs will kill you. Scav bosses, there are scav bosses. There are scav boss guards. These scav bosses, when you're playing as a scav, might kill you depending on how high your rep is. Every time you go in as a scav and you come out, you gain a very small amount of reputation. If you go in as a scav and you kill PMCs, you gain more reputation every time you get back out again. So the higher your reputation gets, which I believe you can see at the traders. So Fence is your scav trader. Yes, so this is your reputation, or this is my reputation with him. That goes up and up and up. The higher it goes, which you can see, the maximum, I think the maximum it can go is 6. So your reputation goes up with him. Once it gets to the highest, you're probably safe from scav bosses, but don't take my word for it. Scav bosses have guards. They're higher level. They can kill you when you're running as a scav. So you kind of want to stay away from, if you hear a scav boss, stay away, basically. Just stay out the zone, run in a different direction, do your best to survive. So this is your stash. And depending on how expensive the version is that you buy of the game, you will have either a bigger stash or a smaller stash. At the moment, I have the biggest stash available. We'll get into your areas in a moment. Obviously, as you can see, all of these items is stuff that I've either picked up in game. Like, I haven't actually bought any guns. These are all guns that I've picked up in the game. And then you have, this is like for your stash gear and expensive gear. So you can buy bigger storage boxes that allow you to fit in a lot more stuff than if you were just putting them into your stash. So you can see this box takes up this much room, but it allows me to put this much gear in it. There's a lot of stuff like that. That helps you fit more stuff into your stash. So for instance, you can get something like these, which take up, what's that, 3, 6, 9, 12, that takes up 12. But when you open it up, it'll give you more. But this will only allow you to put either 1 slot or 2 slot items in. So sometimes if you want to extend the amount that you can fit within your stash, you need to look at certain bags and certain chest rigs, because they will give you more room available than the area that you have available in your stash. But you are limited. Like, obviously, this is a 4 slot item. I couldn't put this, as you can see, into this, because this will only take 2 slot items, or obviously single slot items. So there's your stash. Now you have, as you can see here, you have weight. You have a weight limit. I don't even know what the fuck that is. That's how much I know about this game. That's your thirst, and that's your hunger. So you have to eat and you have to drink. So you're taking food with you and you're taking drink with you, or you're finding it in game. Here you can see there's some food here. There's some croutons and some peas. Doesn't appear that I've got a bottle of water, which is a little bit scary. I think I obviously died not long ago, and I was basically running a game in factory where I was just taking in stuff like this little useless shotgun and stuff that I was running in factory, knowing that I was probably going to die and probably going to lose it. So basically you have a couple of different types of rig. You have rigs like this, which, if we have a look at that, this will allow me to, as you can see, it allows me to carry items, but it's also armored as well. So that would, exactly like this one, this is an armored rig. So you either have something like this, which is a chest rig, which you then have to have a carrier as well. So that would go into your armor, and then that would go into this. Or if you have a armored carrier, which is basically like this with this is added into it, you'd fit it into this slot there. And then obviously you have helmet, you have eyewear, you have a side pistol. Backpack, I'm not carrying one at this moment in time, but we'll flick on a backpack because we'll probably just do a scav run. So if we flick across this, just in case we pick up a load of stuff. My stash is a right mess. I wasn't prepared for this. I haven't been playing for a couple of weeks. You can see I'm using the backpack to store stuff in, so I don't want to accidentally run with that. And then you have meds. So there's a lot of different types of meds. You go into your health. We'll see it more when we go into the game. Now, you obviously take damage in all of these different areas. You can see this at the moment is 97 out of 99. You lose, what would be the word for it? Your rigs take damage. Basically, you have to repair them and fix them. If the maximum of this is 99, if this was down to like 60 or 50 because I got shot up a bit and I repair it, it won't allow me to repair it back up to 99. It will drop the 99 down to 90 and it will repair to 90, and every time you have to then re-repair it, it drops down the maximum that it's allowed to be repaired at. Your gun is the same. If you inspect your gun, you can see at the moment this one, I think I killed this guy, so I took his gun. He'd obviously been running it for a bit, so it was at, it's down to 90.5%. Obviously, when this drops down, your gun can start jamming, and you don't really want to deal with a jamming gun scenario in the middle of a gunfight. So you'd want to repair that, but it's telling me there that I can't repair it to 100% anymore. It would drop to 93.7. I think that's what it's trying to tell me. I don't know for sure. So yes, that's your stash. Okay. This is obviously your gear tab. This is where you put all your gear on. You have an overall tab. It's telling me at this moment I'm level 15. It gives you all other stuff like my survival rate is 58%. Not very good, obviously. It tells you the raids that you've done, how many you survived, how many times you've been killed in action. This is where I haven't extracted. 140 kills, and then it'll go down and it will tell you, obviously, if you're interested, what level the players were. So I've killed 131 to level 50. I've killed, obviously, the more kills I've had have been level 11 to 30 players. So on, so forth. That's your information. It also oh no, it doesn't. So obviously you got your health tab, you got your skills tab. This one tells you how much you need to get to the next level. Leveling on this game is extremely important. These are obviously your skills that you level up. So you've got strength and health and all sorts of stuff like this. Obviously your health will help you recondition yourself quicker. Strength will help you carry stuff and you won't get tired as quick because you do have stamina in this game. And you are affected if you're carrying overweight. There are ways around that. Like I said, there is a lot to get through here. And then you have your skills for your guns. Exactly what they do for you, I don't know. Maybe you get a slightly better hold on your aim and stuff like that. Again, there is stuff that I don't know. So at the moment it's telling me I'm level 15 and I've got 16,098 points left to get to level 16. I have picked up some maps along the way, but we're going to kind of ignore that because that's not a great deal used to us at this moment in time. So there is a tasks map here. This is kind of, I never go through here. I find it a little bit awkward. We'll go to the traders in a minute. There's an achievements thing. again, not something I bother with. And this is the first time I've ever actually even looked in this tab. So we'll go back to the gear tab, and basically, as I say, everything that you've got in here, you've either bought, when you start the game, depending on which game you buy, you will start with different stuff in your stash. If you buy the highest, most expensive version of the game, you will get a full-size stash and you'll get some better starting weapons. Again, you might want to keep hold of those while you learn the ropes, because you die very quickly in this game and you will lose your stuff after a couple of, literally a couple of lives. If you don't know how to extract, then you're going to lose stuff just because you're not going to find your way out of the map. So if we look at a few things here, see, I've got some screws here, I've got a lamp here and stuff like that. You have in this game a stash, which is called a hideout. This is a place where apparently your little character lives. Let's see, we're 16 minutes in and I've hardly gone through anything, so that's a little bit scary. So here is your stash. Here is your hideout. And within your hideout, you have all of these things. There is more. There's a gym that I can open up in there. I haven't even got to that yet. Like I said, I haven't been playing a great deal this wipe. So you can see here I have a workbench, which is level 1. I have a shooting range, which is level 1. It's showing you my stash is level 4, which is the highest that's available. That's because I bought the most expensive version of the game. Lavatory level 1, illumination is level 2. At the moment I have the generator turned off, so you can come in here, you can see my workbench. If I want to make my workbench level 2, it tells me what I need to do. I need to get mechanic at level 2, and I need 6 times some bolts, 3 times toolkit, and 2 of these drills, and you find this stuff in game. So you go into the game, you pick up this gear, you bring it back, and if I happen to have mechanic, he's not even at level 1 at the moment. Yes, he is at level 1. He's not at level 2 at the moment. So if I happen to have mechanic at level 2 and I had all of these items available, I could click upgrade and then I'd upgrade my workbench. Once I do that, it will allow me, if we go back to the workbench at this moment in time, it shows you that I can make these items. Now, to be honest, the best thing that I find is actually usable for the workbench is when you get to workbench level 2 and you're actually able to make better ammo. And you see here, like, it tells you when you've got the stuff that you need to make a certain item. So, it's telling me there that I need Y, and I could go and buy this ammo now, and then I could make 150 of a higher level ammo, if that makes sense. So 9x18, that will be a lesser penetration or lesser damage, and then I could make, obviously it's telling me there 150 rounds if I add a wire to it, and then it's got a time. You'll start making it, it'll start getting made. You have to turn the generator on, so you'd have to turn the power on. The generator uses fuel. Okay, it's a lot to take in, like I said. There's rest spaces. Effectively, with something like your rest space, it's telling you here that it will basically give you a negative effect removal rate. So while you're out of game, for instance, if you're in your menu and you're running as a scav, whilst your player will be regenerating at this rate. Once it goes up to level 2, that will higher the rate of your regeneration. So by the time you've run your scav run and returned your character, if your stats were low, your food stats and your energy and your thirst stats and stuff like that, they'd be fully regenerated. Med station obviously allows you to make meds and gives you bonuses. Again, make sure that it will make your health increase more. There is some handy stuff in here. You have a shooting range. This is quite handy. So if we click on the shooting range, again, there's upgrades for the shooting range, but you can obviously enter. So we can enter this space, we can have a little nose around, and we can use the shooting range. And this is a good place to practice. Now, you don't lose your ammo if you're in here. Let me select onto this gun that for some reason I don't have my stock unfolded. I don't know why. Let's unfold the stock. I could turn the lights on. I haven't turned the lights on, so we are in the dark. What I would suggest is, and this is probably a life or death situation, in this game you need to learn where the center of your monitor is, because hip fire will save your life in this. By the time you ADS, a lot of the time you're already dead. If you come up against someone that if you've got the drop on, you're probably all right. If they've got the drop on you, you're going to want to learn where the center of your screen is. So using the firing range is extremely useful. You're going to want to come in here. You're going to want to learn to practice, because you're going to want to figure out where the center of your screen is. You can obviously change fire modes. We've just gone from full auto to, as you can see, I'm struggling with that sight in the middle. So this is a handy place to use. You don't lose your ammo when you come in here. You need ammo, but I've just basically unleashed two magazines. I'm out of ammo. I won't lose that. When I go back into the game, it will replenish the ammo that I lose in here. So don't worry about coming in here and losing ammo, because ammo is important in this game. So if we go back to the character, 20 minutes in and I've gone through nothing. So at this moment in time, I think I have ammo boxes. Did I buy any ammo boxes? Yes, so here's an ammo box. So we'll open the ammo box, and as you can see, I have a plethora of ammo. It's telling me there that I have 60 rounds. And there is obviously all your different ammo types. Now, if you're an American person, you'll probably understand this far better, because you actually have guns. Obviously, in the UK, we don't have guns. So we're not obviously so familiar with different ammo types, etc., etc. The thing that you will probably pick up if you're starting this game from scratch, mostly, the most ammo that I tend to find early game will be the 545 39. And you can see here we've got a PP variant, we've got a BP variant, we've probably got a BS variant somewhere. You can compare their stats. So it will show you their stats. This one's got 51 damage, that one's got a 48 damage. Obviously the accuracy is slightly different, and the penetration. Now the penetration tells you, if you click on it, the armors that you're going to penetrate with that at what value you will. So it's going to go through 1, 2 and 3 very easily. It's not going to go through 4 that well, and at 5 and at 6 you're in trouble. This one will actually go through 4 better. So BP, obviously, as you can see, it has a higher penetration at 45, but it does less damage. Penetration is key over damage. If you have high damage and low penetration, you want to, if you're coming up against someone with big armor, you want to go for soft zones where they're not armored. So you want to go for legs and arms. And I'll show you why when we get into the game. If I allow myself to get shot a few times, saying that if I'm running as a scav, that might not happen. But effectively, what will happen is let's go into the health. This is what you'll see in game, and it will give you stats of the type of damage that you have. So it will tell you if you've got a bleed or a fracture or so on and so forth. If this will go down red, it will go down yellow and then red when it's getting in trouble. If this is completely blacked out, you've lost the use of that body part. So it's broken, it's done. At that point, you're going to need to do surgery, and you're going to need a, God knows where I've got anything, if I have anything. You can probably do a certain amount of surgery, I believe, with the CMS. I normally carry a Survive. For some reason, I don't have a Survive kit that I have to hand at this moment in time. So effectively, what you have to do is you have to do a longer procedure on it rather than just a heal. You go through quite a long animation where you get some scissors out, you get some stitches out, you do surgery, which basically will bring it back for a brief period to the lowest red. At this point, you need to then use like heal kits to get it back up to basically the value. If not, it will drop down and it will go black again, and you'll have to do surgery on it again. those stats mean if your leg's blacked out, you're limping, and there's no way around it, you're limping. If your arm's blacked out, when you're trying to shoot at something, your arm will be shaking. There's a lot of stuff that shows up visibly in this game that makes it quite awkward. I'm not going to have time to run. I'm going to do this till half an hour, and then we're going to do another one where we actually go in a game, because games generally run for about half an hour. There's so much to go through. Obviously, you can see here, I've got, if I go to my gear, this is the gun that I'm carrying at the moment. It tells me there when I'm hovering over it, or it tells me up there that obviously this is an AK, and it's running the 545 39 ammo. You can see that these are the magazines for it, and it tells you there 30 or 30. Ammo, you don't have, obviously, it's probably obvious by now, you don't have invincible ammo. If you run out of ammo, you're in trouble. So you don't really want to be, and I wouldn't be. I think I've just swapped this gun over basically to give me some room to move stuff around in my stash. You're probably going to want to go into the game carrying a gun and enough ammo to make sure you can get through at least a few fights. You can carry some ammo in your ass so you don't lose all of it, but you can't load it from your ass. If you want to load it, it has to go into your pockets or your rig to be able to load it, but you can carry it in your ass, and then if you're running out, you can swap some across. Obviously, if you go into the game and you die within the first 20 seconds and all of your ammo is up here, you're going to be a bit pissed off with that, because you just take, ammo is, you can't pick up good ammo until you get to at least flea market, and even then you can't pick up the best ammo. You get the better ammo the further you get later game rather than early. You can obviously pick up good ammo early, but it means picking it up in game. It's scarce, and you don't want to lose it, because at the start of the game, like I said, this game does wipes. So it does 2 wipes a year. It does a wipe kind of mid-June, and then it does a wipe around December. When it does the wipe, if you are in the player versus player mode, it will completely remove all of your stats, all of your levels back down to how you started when you bought the game. In your PvE mode, I have a feeling your PvE mode stays the same. So PvE mode is all AI. There are PMCs, but they're AI controlled, and then there's scavs that are AI controlled. It's a bit of a mixed bag as to which mode is actually easier. If you're running solo and you're playing PvE, I actually find it quite hard, because the AI become too much. So basically, if you're playing PvP, you're going into the map. I'm not sure how many teams are allowed to spawn in, but those teams will be killing other scavs on the map. When you go in PvE mode, if you're playing solo, you have so many scavs to try and kill. It's unbelievable. It's overbearing. So I actually find PvP mode, so player against player, I actually find that a little bit easier, because you can kind of try your best to stay out of the high level zones where people go up to pick up the best loot, or people go to pick up the best missions. You can allow people to go into those areas first and take out a lot of the enemy that are there. Enemy are obviously also attracted to other players, not just you. You're not the only person that they're attracted to. So it's entirely, I can imagine people that are new to the game or new to this type of game would probably still rather play against AI to start with than play against other players whilst you're learning the ropes. Now, in speaking of that, when you go to launch the game, well, what I will say is, because I'm not sure, I'd have to check on this, depending on what level of the game you buy, you might not get the PvE. So you have to make sure, if that's something important to you, if you want to play against AI in the PvE, you have to make sure you buy the certain level of game. I think there's 3, there might even be 4 now levels of this game that you can buy, obviously different costs, and you get a different level of gear. The other thing is when you're launching the game, if I'm about to launch now, if I wanted to launch with my PMC, I've put all the gear on I want to launch. You don't have to. You pick your map. So these are the maps. This one is locked. I haven't unlocked this one yet because I'm not high enough level. But say, for instance, I was going into wood. You select a time. So there's a day and night cycle. It's a 24-hour day and night cycle. And it has full weather conditions that change. It has seasons. So obviously in the winter, there is snow on the map. In the summer, there is the grass and foliage is higher up. So on and so forth. But you do have rain, lightning, wind effects, all sorts of stuff. You choose the time. You can see these times are constantly going. It will go dark. You don't. If you think that you can run into this map when it's dark and things will be easier, think again. You won't see where you're going. You're not going to run in with a torch because you will stand out like a sore thumb. You'd have to use night vision, decent night vision. You're not going to get until you've unlocked at the flea market. We're going to have to get there yet, and we're at 30 minutes already. Oh my God. So you'd pick, anyway, let's say, for instance, we're about to go into a game. We've picked woods. We've picked a time. We've clicked next. Now you can click on this, which enables me to go in as my character now. And it's just a practice. This will be a practice mode. I can go in. It will only be against AI. And if they kill me or I don't make it out, it's not a problem. I will just return back to the screen and all my gear will be there. I would recommend doing this. It's quite awkward. The AI, you can, in fact, you can change the level of AI. So you can put the AI amount down right to low and you can put their difficulty down to low. You can make sure there's no bosses. And this is probably a good way to learn the map because there is no way of telling. Map knowledge is huge. There is no way of telling where you are on the map. It is by knowing the map. You need to, once you know the areas of the map, so you can tell where you are, you will learn which way to go to your extract zones. And we're going to get to that when we actually get into a game. We're not going to get into that now because we've still got so much that we need to go through, unfortunately. So we've gone through the character. Now, it's not just a case of going in, killing some people, grabbing some gear and coming out. You have to do tasks. And you have to do the tasks to get the points to unlock the trader levels. So as you can see here at the moment, this is a trader. This guy's unlocked from the start of the game. Therapist is unlocked from the start of the game. I think all of Jaeger's not. So I think all of these are unlocked from the start of the game. At the moment, we can see what we can buy from this trader. This is the stuff that I can buy. We can see that written here he's level 2, so I've unlocked him to level 2. Mechanic's the only one. No, Mechanic and Ragman are still at level 1. This trader's locked. I haven't unlocked him yet. So this is the stuff that I can buy off him. This is the cost that I can buy off him. Not all of the stuff on here I'm able to buy. Some of the stuff I need to trade. So for instance, this shovel, it will tell me that I need 2 pom-pom beanies. 2 of those, click yes, and hit do the deal. Early game, if you do the first couple of tasks for him, it unlocks the suppressed AKSU. I suggest doing this as fast as you can. That's probably the first gun that you're going to be able to buy over and over again that is suppressed. Suppressed in this game is a game changer early on because although it's not silent, it is a lot different to, as we see when we'll play a game, how loud gunfire is and how you can pick up the direction of gunfire and how you can go looking for someone if they are making a lot of noise. So anyway, this is, as I said, you deal, obviously put in as many rounds as you want. If I wanted to buy those rounds, they're 55, whatever currency this is, 55, let's say pounds, £55 for 1 bullet. Interesting. Let's say 55 pence. It's telling me there. So I buy those bullets. As you can see, all of the bullets that you're going to get at the moment are pretty low level. I'm going to pick up higher power bullets in the game. We'll go to Therapist. Same thing, as you can guess by the name Therapist. This is where you get heals and stuff like that. a lot of this stuff is for trade. So I can't actually get anything decent at this moment in time. Even these, which are probably the best heals that she's got available, are not that great, and I still can't actually buy any. I can by a different method, which I'll show in a moment. So Skier, again, as you can see, he has different stuff available for me. Peacekeeper has different stuff available for me, so on and so forth. Fence, this is basically, this guy sells you the scav stuff. All of this stuff that you get on here, so you can see there's this gun here. If you click on it, oh, that's random. If you click on it, their normally durability is way down. These guns are basically, this is the type of gear that you get when you run as a scav. You never get fully kind of brand new gear. You always get half level stuff, which is prone to jam and all sorts of bad stuff. So you have to be aware of that also. Now, if we go back to proper, you can see he's got this little tick here, which is green. He's telling me that he's got a task for me. We'll click on the tasks tab, and these are the tasks that he has available for me. So at the moment, he has this one, which is to find and transfer. So it says hand over the found in raid. So obviously I need to go into a raid. I need to collect some army bandages. I need 2 of those, and then I need to hand them over to him. So if I accept this, I don't know if I don't have any at the moment. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you do the task or not. It's entirely up to you. This one's on a timer, so it's a 24-hour task. It will run down. If I haven't done this by that time, it will just disappear, and then another tick will come up and he'll hand me another task, which is probably a different thing. This is what happens if I finish this task. I'll get 18,000, or 1800, 18,000, 1,853. Jesus Christ. Experience points. I'll get 8,190 rubles, and then I'll get 25 pieces of the TT 76225 ammo for doing that task. These are other tasks that I have open. You can see now some of this is stuff that will unlock within. So if I do this task, if we go into his trader thing here, at the moment, that ammo isn't available for me to purchase. If we go back to that task, which one was it? This one. If I complete this task, it will allow me to then unlock this ammo from his store. Most of the stuff, I need to wait till I get to level 3. Once I get to level 3 with him, it will unlock, this whole area will unlock, and there'll be level 3 gear in here. So he'll have more guns available for me, or even some of this stuff which he's asking for a trade right now. Some of that stuff will unlock it, so it allows me to purchase it. Whew. Once you get to level 15, which is where I'm at, you unlock a new place where you're able to buy stuff. This is the flea market. This is huge. When you get to the flea market, this is a place where players in the game add their stuff for sale. So, for instance, there's guns that none of the traders will sell to me because I'm not a high enough level, or I haven't unlocked them, which is a lot at the moment because they're only at level 2. So, say for instance, a SCAR. I can't buy a SCAR at this moment from any of the traders. I can buy one through here, by other players that have placed them, that are playing the game, have placed them up. So 300k for this SCAR here. Now, you need to click on it and check it, obviously, because you can see there's no mag on this gun, and it's out 100. So it is fully fixed, or it is brand new, but it does have a mag missing. So you'll see that it seems to be a bit of a trend here. Well, this guy here that's got one here for 350k, and he's actually got some gear on it. However, it's at half level, so it's lost a lot of durability. That gun's pretty goosed. He's probably picked that up off a high level scav later on in the game. So yeah, this one's got some durability missing on it. You need to obviously look through these. At the moment, I can't buy these guns. I don't think I can. I think these are locked. This doesn't mean that you can buy everything. There are still high-level things that it will not let me buy. They still have to be unlocked, and they still need to be sold by the traders. But for instance, you can buy better ammo. Once you've unlocked this, you unlock the ability to buy a lot of keys. You need keys for tasks, and you get the ability to buy a lot of you get probably 80% now of the stuff that you can't get until you unlock all of the traders to their highest levels. So this makes a big deal. The one thing is you'll be paying probably well over the odds for it. If you've got the money, it doesn't matter. If you run out of money, which you will do at certain times, effectively, you just wait for your scav timer. It's normally around 20 minutes, and you just run as a scav, and you pick up as much stuff as you can. You bring it back to the game, you bring it back to your stash, and then you sell it to the traders. So a lot of this stuff, for instance, any type of injector stuff, a lot of the gear that goes in here, for instance, a lot of the stuff that goes in here, you can sell to... God, let's go out here. What am I doing? Traders. A lot of that stuff you can sell to Therapist. She normally pays you a lot more for stuff. So you can see here, she'll pay me 6,300 for that Christmas bauble, which I now don't need anyway because I can't have the Christmas tree anymore. So you can see I can click the sell. I can swing that bauble across. 6,300, click deal. I've sold her the bauble. Same here with obviously this lamp. At the moment, she won't take this secure flash drive. You can click across. Fence will take it. He'll give me 60. This guy, Peacekeeper, deals everything in dollars. You can change currency in the game. You can sell your currency for the other currency. But as you can see, you basically go through the traders and you can see if you want to sell something like that key there is obviously a high price. I can basically go through the traders and see which one will buy it and which one will give me the most money for it. Not a lot of them, actually. Oh, he will. So him and him, or basically those first three will. That's how you make your money. And then when you make your money, you go into the flea market and you can buy your guns. Or you make money by doing your tasks. So again, if you go into the task, she's got a new task for me. Click on the task tab. This is telling me that this is the new task available for me. It's got a time running down on it. Click on it, click accept. It's telling me that if I survive woods, so I need to go in as a PMC, I need to survive a woods extract, and it'll give me this much experience points, it'll give me this much money, it'll give me one of these, and it'll give one of these, and it'll give me a points bonus for my reputation with her. If I want to get to level 2 with her, you can see at this moment that I need to have her at this moment in time, it's showing you that I have this 0.24 reputation with her, and I need to get it to 0.30 reputation, and I need to get to level 24, and I need to have spent 700k. I've spent 700k with her, or I've basically dealt 700k with her, whether it be through buying or through selling. But I'm not at level 24. Obviously, I'm at level 15, and I don't have this reputation. So the more tasks I do with her, the more reputation I gain with her, and then it will build up that reputation, which is why I say you need to obviously do the tasks. If you just run through the game, just going in and ignoring the tasks, you won't unlock them because you won't build up the reputation score to unlock them. So obviously, like I said, she's at level 2 at the moment. The next thing is level 3. Once I get her to level 3, it will unlock more things that I'm able to buy off her. And for instance, stuff like this fuel can, which at this moment in time she'll only take a trade for, it will probably unlock it that I can actually purchase it from her rather than having to trade, because having to trade for stuff sometimes is a fucking nightmare. I think she's probably, other than Fence, she's probably one of the only ones that you can buy keys off as well. That's as much as I'm going to go through because that's 45 minutes. So I'm going to leave this video there. That was a little bit crazy. And then I'm going to clear my stash up a bit and we'll do a quick run in game and I'll go through all of the stuff when we're in game because, like I said, there's a lot more to go through. But I'm going to stop this one there. If you liked, I hope you did because that was hard work. Please give me a like, and I'll catch you in the next one.